10 American things Europeans consider rude. Yeah, really excited to see what kind of things we got in this video and see if I consider them rude as well. So yeah, really looking forward to getting into this one. Before we do, I appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. Let's go straight to this to check this out.
So this week I've been thinking a lot about etiquette, and it's something I've touched on this channel before. But today I thought it might be fun if we looked at things that are acceptable in America but are considered a little bit rude in Ireland. Now, Ireland is not a very strict place, so if you do any of these things, it's not going to be considered a massive faux pas, and people are pretty accepting of the fact that people from different nationalities have different cultural systems and different manners and etiquette and stuff. The reason we're doing this list is because it's fun to look at stuff that is a little bit different in different countries.
Oh,
so
yeah, for sure.
If you're offended by this list, get a life. It's a list. It's also going to be full of generalizations. Not everybody does every single thing. Also, I try not to repeat myself on lists, so do check out my other lists to see if there's anything that you think I should have mentioned that I didn't hear. Before I get into the video, be sure to like and subscribe.
Her link will be in the description. Make sure you check her out.
Important, and it's what makes the world go round. No, it doesn't. I've exaggerated. We'll get to that later in the list. So the first thing that is acceptable to do in America but not acceptable to do in Ireland is this hand gesture.
Huh?
You can't see that. Okay.
Oh, okay. So the peace sign, but facing the other way is... Okay, yeah. It's like flipping someone off.
I have my middle finger up and I have my index finger up at the same time.
Right.
In America, I see people doing this in photos. Like, I'm going to use my pinky finger as a substitute. And they look really happy about it and stuff. But in Ireland, putting up your index finger and your middle finger is considered even ruder than flipping somebody off with the middle finger. So yeah.
Oh, wait. In Ireland, that's ruder than the middle finger? Oh, wait. In the UK, it's not. In the UK, it still is rude, though. Like, if you do, like, put your two fingers up at someone with the fingers facing that way, then it would be considered rude. Like, you're flipping them off, like the middle finger. But I didn't know it's ruder than the middle. Wow.
In Ireland, it's really insulting.
Wow.
It's pretty funny looking at photos of people gleefully holding up the two fingers because it just means a totally different thing here, but yeah. Wait,
yo, so people from Ireland that look at photos are probably thinking, yo, why is he flipping me off, man?
The next thing Americans do that's
a
little offensive to Irish people is be very, very direct. I've mentioned before Irish people like to dance around a subject, and that's because we're very tactful. If Americans want to know something, they'll come right out and ask you, whereas in Ireland, it's perceived not so polite because we like to ease ourselves into some of the harder questions.
Oh, really?
It would be, how much do you
earn?
How tall are you? What's your educational background?
I'm something of a scientist myself.
And it's not that direct questions are unacceptable in Ireland. It's just a case of we don't jump straight into it.
Right.
In that Irish people will do, whereas
Americans
will just come right out and ask it.
To be fair, I actually prefer Americans doing that. Just get straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, interesting. I didn't know that was rude, so
if you want to proceed with the
I can see how it could be rude, though.
And get to know the person a little bit first.
Right.
At least have the banter.
Yeah, to be fair, in the UK, bro, if you go up to someone and you're like, hey, how much do you earn? They might be like, whoa, hold on a minute.
Me too. My next point. Banter is something a lot of American people don't get.
Right.
What?
In America, if you're doing a job like waiting tables or something, it's considered efficient to just wait the tables, ask for somebody's order, take their order, do the job. Whereas in Ireland, it's considered much more professional to have a little conversation with the person. It's almost a case of being super efficient and super considered a little bit standoffish.
Wait, I thought in America the service was more like that. Bro, in the UK, no one's talking to anyone for the service, bro. The service people are never talking to you. They're just like, yo, what do you want, man? Not that bad,
but a little banter to feel at ease. So commenting about the weather or remarking upon a funny thing that happened outside in the car park is just banter, and it's good.
Okay.
Whereas in America, the person is just there to do their job as quickly and efficiently as possible. In Ireland, service means being at ease with the person that is serving you, more so than being happy with them efficiently doing their job. Yeah.
Yo, I don't know if she had different experiences in America, and in Ireland they do it differently, but in the UK, they are just doing their jobs, bro. In the UK, the service people, they're just doing their jobs, they're making sure their job is done, and that's it, bro. They don't care about anything else.
You want them to do their job well, but you'll be more forgiving if you feel like you've got a rapport with the person. If somebody's very formal, thank you, sir, yes, ma'am, it's just considered to be quite distancing and not so jovial. In Ireland, we like to feel like we're mates.
Okay.
Next one, a lot of
people
have commented about, it's American people being loud, but I want to get
really
specific here. American people in groups don't strike me as very loud. I've noticed Spanish people, when they're abroad, can be very loud in groups.
Oh,
students.
You know what? I've actually had people tell me that. There was like, why do people always say Americans are loud, right? Because apparently, and I never knew this, but Spanish are very loud. Apparently so. Apparently so. I've not got any personal experience with it, but that's what I've just been told.
Whereas American people, I've noticed, tend to have one specific person in a group yelling above everybody else.
Okay.
So you'll have the mom in a family being really loud. Or
right.
The kid in the family telling somebody all about a video game and you have to put up listening stat on a coach or whatever. So the whole group doesn't tend to be loud, but it's interesting how there's always a domineering voice in a group of American people.
Interesting.
Irish people will kind of look sideways if we see one person not kind of sticking to the accepted level in the room or on the bus, as the case was.
Yeah, I don't know. In the UK, it's kind of mixed because some people are just louder than others. But yeah, I'd like to know your guys' opinions in America, though. Is that actually the case? Is normally not everyone loud in the group? It's just like one dominant person that's loud, which would just make everything seem loud.
That person will get this kind of look.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, but we'll never say it. We'll never say it. We prefer to just look at people like that. But we'll
they're not direct.
Video about being too loud because we're quite jovial that way. The next thing is a question that some of you guys asked me about taxis, and it's a case of in Ireland, it's considered a little rude to sit in the back of a taxi if you're the only one getting into a taxi.
Really?
You guys have Ubers and stuff, and so in this case, I'm just talking about Ubers, taxis, whatever. But yeah, if it's daytime or whatever, you'll generally sit in the front of a taxi. If you're
Wait, I wonder what the rules are for rude or not for taxis in the UK, because I've just always sat in the back. Unless the back is like full, I would sit in the front, right? But I'd find it weird, bro. Like if it's just me and the guy and I just go in the front. I don't even know his name.
You're the only person there because otherwise it's considered a little bit snobby. However, there is a little bit of a difference. Say, for example, I'm getting a taxi by myself late at night. I'll always sit in the back seat. And that's just a general safety thing. It's just a thing people accept to do after a certain time of night. But yeah, if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm jumping in a cab, I'll usually jump in the front seat.
Oh, really?
I might get in the back because I've just got stuff to do on my phone or whatever. But yeah, it can be a little awkward if the taxi driver's sitting in the front, you're in the back, and you're having the bants.
Yeah, no, in the UK, bro, to be fair, now when I think about it, nobody ever goes in the front unless the back is occupied. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if 4 people's going in the car, 3's in the back, 1's in the front, right? But if one person's going in the car, they're most likely just going to go in the back. Unless you really do want to have a good chit chat with the taxi guy, they might go in the front, but yeah, in the back.
It's just easier to sit in the front. The next thing that Americans do that is considered a little bit rude here is talking too much. In Ireland, as I say, we tend to have banter, but this banter is kept pretty short. I'll say a thing, you say a thing, I say a thing, we'll laugh, you'll go away.
Listen, that could be true. Please do not use me as a representation of Europe. Because, yeah, you guys do say to me I do talk too much. Hey, look, I'm sorry, man. I can't help it.
Whereas I've noticed sometimes if you engage an American who's traveled here on holiday or whatever, they will tend to go into a big, long story. And as an Irish person, because we're quite polite about things like that, we'll stand there nodding and we'll back some banter. And it's like we've given them a rope and they'll just keep on going.
Oh, wow.
About their story. And again, it will tennis ball back to you and you'll give them another little line and they'll tell you more about their life.
Okay, yeah, no, in person, I'm not like that, bro. Like, if you keep going on about your story, and you're there for half an hour, and you're like, yo, this story's still going on, bro. What, are Americans really like, I know Americans are like, you guys like to talk to strangers and talk to each other, but do you talk for very, very long periods of times? Like, too much? Really? I don't know, that might just be a handful. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what you guys have to say about that.
Now, I'm talking about 2 people who wouldn't be super familiar with each other, like a shop worker and a customer, or a person in a restaurant.
They've told them life stories.
In a restaurant. If you're with your mates, yeah, you go into stories, they go into stories, that's normal. But
sure.
If a person who doesn't know you is trying to have banter with you, it's generally acceptable to throw them back no more than a short paragraph. Don't tell them your entire life story, no matter how friendly they seem or receptive to it. Again, there can be exceptions to the rule. Maybe you've just met and you've fallen in love, and maybe that's the whole thing, but try and just be a little conservative about not going into a big, long story.
Interested.
By another big, long story.
Wow, is that true? Do you guys in America, when you're talking to strangers, go into like in-depth stories?
Just keep your things to short sentences and box pops if you don't know the person. Another thing I've noticed Americans do here is keep their language very formal. So they'll say, excuse me, if they're trying to get past
so they're polite
or something. Whereas in Ireland, we'll say sorry. And we don't actually mean sorry like I've injured somebody in your family. Sorry is just the word we use.
Sorry.
As opposed to excuse me, which is super duper formal. I've also noticed Americans use quite...
Yo, hey, UK must be just very informal then and rude, because I don't hear excuse me and I don't hear sorry. I just feel the shoulder past me. I'm being serious, bro. I'm being serious.
Big words, like if a server comes over to the table. God, I'm talking a lot about waitresses and waiters today, but it's just a good example of bringing it back to stuff. So yeah, the waiter or waitress will be like, hi, is everything okay over here? And an American person will be like, thank you, it's wonderful. Whereas an Irish person is more likely to come back with something really informal, like,
all good, thanks.
Oh yeah, that's
again because we
that kind of sounds like UK people as well.
Like to create a tiny atmosphere of being friends a little bit, but not too much. You don't have to. This is just a suggestion. The next thing is, if an Irish person asks you to do something for the crack, this is almost something you really, really have to do. So asking somebody to...
Wait. Okay, I do know what this means now, but every time it says for the first time, I have to think about it a little bit, bro. I'm thinking crack, like drug crack or bum crack. But crack is like, what is it again? Do it for the crack. Like, do it for the jokes? Oh, I don't even know. Do it for the fun? I don't even know, bro.
This is almost something you really, really have to do. So asking somebody to do something for the crack is like double dog daring them. If somebody says, let's jump out of a plane for the crack, and you say,
no, I don't want to do that.
People will look at you like you're boring. A good friend or colleague will know how far to push it with.
Yo, so I'm gonna go to Ireland, bro. And everyone's jumping out of planes because someone said, yo, let's jump out of this plane for the crack. And they gotta do it. Oh, hell no.
Asking you to do something for the crack, but yeah, asking you to do something for the crack is something you're almost obliged to do with your friends.
Hell no.
For example, if I was on a night out and we were just having a few drinks and somebody said, will we go for a dance for the crack? And I was kind of feeling like, I don't really want to. I'd feel a little bit obliged. Yes, I have to do it.
Yo, I'm going to go to Ireland and become instantly rich. I'm just going to go to people and be like, yo, give me $1,000 for the crack. Yo, give me $10,000 for the crack. Give me $1,000 for the crack. Give me $5,000. Bro, I'm going to be loaded. I'm going to be so... They have to do it. They have to do it.
For the crack, or that person's going to go and say, I'm boring. That sounds way harsh. It's much more pleasant than that. But yeah, asking somebody to do something for the crack is a double dog dare.
Fair enough.
The next thing is, if somebody asks you if you want to join them for tea in their house, don't feel like you have to say yes, or like this is an exceptional thing that they've asked you to do. If somebody crosses your doorstep, you're almost obliged to ask them if they want a drink or if they want tea.
Oh, I must be rude then. I don't ask anyone if they want tea. Probably because I drink coffee, but yeah. You come to my house, I ain't offering tea. You gotta bring your own tea. Actually, bring me tea. No, bring me a coffee. You're coming to my house.
A lot of times, you don't really want them to stay for tea, but it's considered very, very rude not to offer them tea.
Oh, really?
Do not have a drop.
Yeah, to be fair, like, I'm talking about me personally, but in the UK, a lot of people will offer you tea. Like, a lot will offer. Otherwise, they feel like it's rude.
I'm fine. No, really. Seriously.
I've seen this happen to another person, and then that guest stayed for hours and hours and hours, whereas the original invite was just one out of courtesy. It wasn't unwelcome, but it was definitely a cultural divide. They just invited them out of the sake of formality.
Wow.
Tea is not necessarily a thing that somebody really, really, really wants you to do. They're just doing it because it's tradition here to ask somebody if they want a cup of tea or coffee when they enter your house.
Hey, you're bringing it on yourself, so I ain't gonna lie at that point. Just don't even ask them for tea. Yo, if I really don't want someone to stay around my house, I ain't ask them to have a drink. I'm saying, yo, here's the door. You want the door? There you go. There's a door, bro. Yeah, I'd only ask them if they want to drink if I actually don't mind them staying for hours or whenever, right?
As a worker or a builder, you'll always ask them, do they want a cup of
Oh,
tea?
yeah.
I don't know why we do that.
Yeah, that is true. Builders or workers in your house, it'll be very rude in the UK if you don't ask them for a drink. Like, for example, if a builder came to work on this house that I'm in right now, I would feel so rude if I didn't say to them, yo, do you want a cup of tea or a drink or anything?
We just do. And the final thing...
Wait, do you guys not do that in America? Surely you do. I hear all the time Americans are polite. Surely you guys will offer drinks. That can't be just like a Europe thing.
Americans are inclined to do... I don't do that. We just do. And the final thing that Americans are inclined to do, and I've seen them do when they come to Ireland, that is definitely a little bit of a faux pas here, is bragging.
Right.
Bragging can be defined very differently in America and Ireland.
Okay.
And the reason for this is in Ireland, everybody tends to downplay themselves, take the
Yeah.
piss out of themselves, even slag each other off and
Yeah.
stuff. Whereas in America, talking about all the wonderful things that you've done and your accomplishments is seen to be something that you're proud of. And
This is so
then,
true.
Why shouldn't it be? You know, doing
This is honestly so true, bro. Like, I can't tell you guys anymore. This is it for the UK as well. Like, personally for me, so you guys watch my videos and we hit 100,000. We hit 150,000 recently. You guys are amazing for the love. But, like, I low-key want to talk about it to my friends and family and stuff. But I feel like because I've already told them, if I mention any more like milestones I've hit, I feel like it's bragging, bro, and it'll be annoying them and they won't like it, and that's how it really is. And like in America, you guys embrace each other's like milestones and accomplishments that you done. And man, I'd prefer that a lot more. I ain't gonna lie, because it's not like the sense of like you want to brag and put people down. It's more like you wanna like celebrate your achievements. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I've got personal, you know, this I understand fully. I understand this fully, especially with recent. So yeah, this is but it's not just for me. It's for everyone. You know what I mean? Everyone in the UK. If somebody talks about their achievements or whatever, it would seem as like they're bragging and try to like show off and stuff, and it's seen as a bad thing. But yeah, I'd prefer if it wasn't. We just, you know, celebrate each other's achievements, right? Like, why not? You know what I mean? You worked hard for it.
something great, like climbing the Himalayas is a big accomplishment. But
Right.
in Ireland, it's just kind of something you'll throw casually into conversation. You won't tell people about all the trophies and medals you've won.
Right.
You kind of let them discover that by themselves. And that's something that makes people interested in you, because you're kind of discovering things about people as opposed to them telling you right up front all their accomplishments. And
Okay.
another kind of casual way I've seen American people do this is saying something like, oh yeah, I'm really strong, or oh yeah, I'm really good at that. Irish people just will never say they're good at something. They'll always let you figure that out by themselves.
Right.
So, to us, somebody coming in and saying that they're really good at something or that they're really accomplished.
That's kind of the same here as well. Why we like that, bro? Like, why we actually like that?
Comes across a little bit like bragging. But as with everything else on this list, we understand where you're coming from. We understand you've got cultural differences.
Right.
But it's just out of human interest. I thought you might enjoy to hear what they are.
No, I prefer your ways.
Cool whip. Cool.
I thought you might enjoy to hear what they are. What? Cool whip.
Cool whip. Cool.
Why did you just randomly say cool whip?
Weird. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the
Cool
H?
whip.
So I hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know in comments.
That was good though. I ain't gonna lie, I prefer your ways. Definitely when it comes to like the bragging and stuff like that. Like, I'd rather celebrate stuff like that, achievements, instead of like feel like you can't even mention it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, really good video, really interesting. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.